Hey YouTube, what is going on everyone? Hope you're having a lovely day, and I want to get right into all this chatter about Diablo 4. I'm going to start off by saying that I think, and for me personally, this has been an absolutely amazing game. I've been a fan of Blizzard for a long time. World of Warcraft was my game for years and years and years. And I can confidently say that for years now, Blizzard hasn't been up to the standards that I once put them up to. I don't care about Overwatch for the most part, outside of jumping into games with friends every now and then. WoW itself just hasn't been good. And let's be honest, as good as we say Legion was, the first half of its cycle was pretty mediocre. The leveling was, it was okay. The Legion was really the coolest thing it had going for it at the time. Then the raids hit, and the first raid tier wasn't great. The quest up until the opening of Suramar was subpar, at least on my standards. But once they got to that point with Suramar opening and the opening of the Tomb of Sargeras, it was fantastic. And that's the point here. Blizzard hasn't done much for a while that would make someone, especially new gamers, say that the company is very cutting edge and pushing new things into the gaming industry. And since it doesn't look like we're going to get a wipe and restart of WoW, something that I personally feel is the only thing that can save the game at this point, I feel that having Diablo 4 become their new focus might be the best thing for the company. And I hate to say that because I'm always going to love World of Warcraft, I'm always going to root for the game, and I'm always going to go back and play it. So a new game, a fresh start, and a new horizon just to look off to in the distance, what they need to make sure of is keeping this game far, far away from Blizzard's, as I like to call it, the chaotic kitchen. The chaotic kitchen is where WoW became a convoluted mess and turned into what it is today. You basically look at all the things you have and you start pulling stuff out of the cabinet. Dragonflight's good, I'm not going to deny that, but because of the chaotic kitchen, the base core of the game is a huge pile of stuff. It's just stuff, and that's turned a once beautiful creation into kind of a mess. And it's basically like, you like chicken, right? Well, we got it. Bread? What kind of bread? Let's throw in two kinds of bread because we can. I mean, we can always throw in a third if people aren't happy with the two that we're currently putting in it. Oh, wait. Actually, what about brownies? Let's start this off by putting a layer of brownies at the base. Then we can pile on the chicken and then the bread. And we got to add some sauce too. And, some people like apples. So let's just chop those up. We'll just toss them right on top. Mountain Dew, some Dr. Pepper, and let's top this thing off with something that most everyone loves, cheese. Lots of cheese, dump that all over the top, and it becomes just this huge mess. When they do this to their systems in their game, it only shows me and other players that they have no clue where they want to go or what they need to do to make their own game succeed. So again, a fresh start and a new focus would be great for Blizzard. So I really do think that the game's been great. It's fresh, it's new, I enjoy the combat, the atmosphere, I enjoy the immersion of it, the NPCs, the world, the environment, all of that. So every time a new game's come out, especially something from Blizzard, there's gonna be people that are gonna be complaining. So, let's look at the reasons that everyone needs to just chill the F out. Stop complaining about it, stop freaking out and hating on every part and system and little bit of news that they release to us. A lot of the complaints make no sense, and many are targeted at only a few specific things. Sure, are there problems with the game? Yes, there are many. That's what's going to happen when you have a game like this that's going to go into live service. If we want to look at successful live service games, you could look at Fortnite, Apex, maybe even Call of Duty, and say that they have minor issues, or look at how the game seems to always be doing pretty fine, because realistically they do. But these games are drastically easier to keep going because everyone has kind of the same thing. We have the same speed, the characters are built the same, we can get the same weapons, and at the base we have the same stats. Everything is the same from one player to the next, at least at one point, which is going to revert back to when I talk later about the seasonal mode and why refreshing is actually a really good thing for this game. So yeah, going back into that, at the base, games like that are much easier to modify and balance and allow people to have a lot of fun. Games like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy and PoE, not so much. These have such a drastically different system. And, I do firmly believe that Blizzard is guilty for a lot of their own issues because they took a very simple combat system in early WoW and turned it into kind of the disaster that it is today. Simple is often better, and with so many classes, and each class having various specs, they set themselves up for disaster from the very start, and in my opinion have only made it worse over the years. But because of this, their team is likely more experienced at finding issues. They know what they're doing. They've been doing this for a long time, and they've been doing it at a high level. Knowing where to look and having some kind of plan of action. If they keep Diablo combat reasonable and refrain from inflating stats, they should be able to easily maintain the difficulty balance in Diablo 4, and really that's all we need them to do to keep this live service game going. And what about endgame being boring right now? I hear that a lot, and it's such a huge grind, and the endgame loop is boring. These are some of the things that have been said over and over. I read them on Reddit, I see them on YouTube, and it's clear that the experience right now is much better from level 1 to 70. And after that, yeah, it's going to become a huge grind, and you're going to wonder why you're even doing it. At that point, you've likely probably done everything you can on that character, so continuing to grind isn't going to benefit you because we're not even in the first season yet. And overall, nothing you grind right now is going to residually benefit you once the season starts. There may be things that carry over, but for the most part, it's just not going to help you. It's really just filler time until we move into the seasons. And I'm not level 100 yet. No, I've been having fun playing with friends online while leveling 3 different classes. I'm breaking in over that level 50 range into the 60s. And, I've seen and watched a lot of people, and I see how the game does drastically slow down once you get over that. But up until this point now, I thought that the game's moved at a really good pace, and I've had a lot of fun. I've put a lot of hours into the game, and like I said, I still want to try other classes. And what we're playing right now isn't even the live service part of this game. This is the story campaign portion of the game, a campaign that we can choose to play solo or group up with friends or even other people that we meet online. And this is not an MMO, and I feel that a lot of people went into this game and they're kind of assuming like that type of thing, like it's like World of Warcraft or something. And this is an online action RPG. The point of it is running content over and over again for RNG to fall in your favor once you get to that certain point in the game. It's all about getting better gear and doing the same thing over and over again. What did everyone expect once they finished the campaign? For Blizzard to release content patch or expansion sized updates every couple of months to give players something new to do after they've already completed the game? No, they gave us what can easily be 60 plus hours on one character of gaming experience with the ability to go back and level other classes, see what things you like, and overall it just gives more replay value to the game that we currently have now. Once you finish the campaign, unless you want to go back and play other classes, you're kind of done. It's over. You beat the game, or you can go out and grind and enjoy running dungeons with friends and seeing what luck you can have on drops. It's your choice if you want to spend more time farming. It's like some people are complaining about the game not giving them enough to do after they've already finished it and already finished what's currently available in the game. The game just came out. It's a live service game. We know that there's going to be more content coming. That's why there's going to be seasons. These characters we have now will go over to what they're calling the Eternity Realms once Season 1 starts, and we can still play them. But if you're looking to main Diablo 4 and seriously want to make it your game, then this is where you're going to want to go. Seasons will bring in all new content. There's going to be changes, new items to grind for, new quests. There will be season events, new bosses. There's likely going to be new areas. There's going to be new mechanics, new ways to do things, and just overall new content. And this is where the game becomes the live service game that we're looking to play over and over repetitively, day after day, week after week, month after month. So let's wait to complain until the season loops begin, because only then are we going to know if this game will be able to keep people hooked and keep us wanting to come back. And the more I read some of the complaints, the more I just wonder how disassociated people are with the idea of the game. I read a post of this guy who says that, he's so busy and he's only able to play the game for a few hours a day. He's only like level 15 or 20. And when he heard about seasons being built around fresh restarts, he just asked straight out and said, well, why should I keep playing this character? I might as well just stop now because it's going to be a waste of my time. So my first question is, why did you buy the game? You know what Diablo is. You know what ARPGs are. You know what you're getting into. So this guy clearly isn't someone that's going to be hardcore, no life grinding to complete every single battle pass every season. He just said that he only plays a few hours a day if he's lucky. So why would he just quit his current character? Is he not having fun? No, he is having fun, but because he heard about the seasons, he's just like, oh, I'm going to quit. What's wrong with playing the character that he already has that's only level 15 to 20? He has hours and hours of gameplay left, and he can focus on his non-seasonal character. He can level other characters. He'll enjoy the game just fine. There's still going to be a lot of people playing over there, and everything's going to be the same. And then if at some point he finishes that up and he wants to try out season mode, then he has an extra option and an extra way to play the game somewhere down the road. Assuming that Blizzard doesn't drop the ball on seasons, that's going to suck for the more frequent players and the people that really want to put a lot of time into it. But right now, the idea of fresh restart seasons only gives players something new and fresh to come back to. Like I said, there's going to be new content. Things are going to be changing. The idea of farming renown, again, sounds dreadful in so many ways. But I'm going to assume that the requirements are going to be much more streamlined when season starts. And it's likely going to be something that they change up, maybe even from season to season, or just take it out altogether. Because right now, renown is really only there to give us busy work to do and keep us in game when the game's just released and has so little content. Once they build the amount of content in the game, the entire renown system could be something that goes away because it's no longer needed. So yeah, again, this is not an MMO. Because of this, seasons are going to be the one thing keeping people busy in game and wanting to come back week after week. We're going to be wanting to unlock pets and mounts, new transmog, and whatever else they think of to throw into the game. If not, people would play the game like normal. They would beat it, maybe log in here and there, play with some friends, and then just kind of let the game sit until a big content patch or an expansion gets released. Which takes us to the next point, people upset and complaining that seasons are going to be a fresh restart. People stating that they're not going to make Diablo their main game if it requires a fresh character to enjoy the benefits and rewards every time a season comes out. So again, my question is, how did you plan to main this game? Again, you're not going to get massive content and expansion updates every couple months. The game would get stale and you would have to run the same thing and kill the same bosses over and over unless you jump into the changes and challenges that come with every season. Blizzard's not going to run seasons over and over, forcing us to re-level only to play the same exact game and content again and again. They already know this. They want us to stay hooked, and they'll be adding things. Things will change, and new things will be added in, new builds and class structures, different ways to play. They could modify what you get from completing dungeons and cellars. There are a lot of things that they could do based on the way that they built this game now. Not even touching on the idea of adding in new quests, seasonal events, locations that they can add into the game. And believe it or not, Blizzard has experience trying to keep a very complicated game going with World of Warcraft. Yeah, they just have a more simple and direct gameplay loop with Diablo IV. And honestly, they're probably going to make a lot more money with Diablo if they do this right. And that might be the key to things. If the money's coming in, they can focus less on the stress of always failing with World of Warcraft and instead draw their focus with Diablo seasonal servers and making more money doing so. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun playing Diablo 4, and there are still other classes that I want to try. Or, hell, maybe I'll just wait until Season 1 starts to finally try out the Druid. But in the meantime, I'm going to jump back into leveling my rogue. So yeah, chill out, just have fun. The game offers more than enough gameplay for its price. I feel like I've gotten my money's worth, and there's so much more to look forward to. Yeah, I'll be getting the Battle Pass. I understand people hate Battle Passes. That's a whole nother thing. But it's a live service game. If you don't want to do the season, you don't have to. If you don't want to get the rewards, the cosmetics, you can just go and play season mode in the free mode. So chill. Again, enjoy, and everybody stay safe. And I will see you all again in the next video.